So this isn't really a lesson, this is more some tips if you are wanting to help your children with doing video calls during lockdown, which I think's a really great idea. I know some of you have already been doing Zooms and Skypes and FaceTimes with, well, definitely with family members, but this is more if you are wanting to take it to them speaking to their classmates and their friends. And I know for some people this has been a little bit chaotic or a bit overwhelming for their children, so I'm just going to give you a few ideas of how I would help them to have a bit more structure and a few more boundaries to make this work a little bit better. So it goes without saying that you need to check your safety settings with whatever platform you're using. I got Zoom bombed the other week with some funny but very inappropriate images popping up on the screen. There were 60 of us on the chat. It didn't really matter for us, but if you've got children, then you won't want this to happen. So if you're the person hosting this call for your child and their friends, then that's kind of your responsibility to get that all sorted and straight before you even start. What I would really recommend is that you treat this a bit like a circle time. So I'm really talking about quite young children here. So early years foundation stage, key stage 1, 4, 5, 6, 7-year-olds, or maybe even younger if you want, depends how brave you're feeling. So in circle time in primary school, really all they would do is they come and sit on the carpet in a circle and they would be talking about a topic and they would take it in turns to speak and listen and ask questions. I think we really forget that as adults, because we talk all the time in groups, that this is just a normal thing we do, but you have to actively teach these skills to children if you want them to kind of perhaps get them a little bit quicker than them just absorbing it from people that they're around. So these are concentrating, looking, listening, speaking and thinking. On websites like Twinkle you can get cards with the visual pictures of lips and ears to help them remember these things. And the best way of teaching these is through modelling. So you will kind of role play, you'll show them like, well, what does concentrating look like and what would good listening be, and then give them stickers, praise, reward. You could give them one sticker for self-praise, so can they identify one thing that they did well at the end of the call in relation to those 5 kind of core areas. I think what's important here is you're going to be teaching them that this is going to be a different type of call to ones that you might have already done with family members. So because the difference with that is if your child might have already, say, Skyped grandparents before, but usually you're the one in charge, you're the one having the conversation, and they jump in and they tell a really funny story or something they did, and then they jump out and they're charging around, then they might come back. What's going to be different about this is they're in charge. This is a real kind of opportunity for some autonomous learning. This is, in fact, I love the fact this is such a great learning opportunity for them using this type of communication skills. So you're going to have one parent that's in charge, one parent's going to help facilitate the talk, and then all the other parents are absolutely going to be there, but they're going to ideally be off screen and then really not going to be saying as anything. They're just there to help if needed, but as much as possible, even from the age of 4, let the children feel like this is their special call and their time. You're going to keep this conversation short, so 5 to 10 minutes. Have a visual timer, so a sand timer if you've got one, or there's apps, or on YouTube there's visual ones so they can actually see how long it's going on for, how long they've got left. Give them a set area, so like a rug or a towel, and ask them that during the time of this call they're to stay there. If they really need to get up, but they can only move around on that, carpet square, and then they sit back down. You could talk about what do they do if they need the toilet or they want to leave the call, they're upset or something during the call. Just treat that and ask them, well, what would you do at school? So to run through some scenarios and things that they would do. The mute function is going to be your best friend. So if you are the parent hosting the call, have it so that when everyone joins, and when I say everyone, I really think 3 or 4 children is probably a great place to start. But when they join, you can have it set on a setting where they join already pre-muted. I think some children might find it a bit loud and overwhelming if everyone comes on and it's all really hyper and chaotic. And also what you can do with this is you will then help your child, so if it's your child that goes first, that they will take it in turns to say hi. So they'll be like, hi, it's Bryony, I'm at home, and then you would have a topic. So you'd say, hi, I'm Bryony, I'm at home, and I've bought my favourite toy, and you'll have told the other parents to tell their child that they're going to have a call with their friends and they're all going to bring their favourite toy to the to the chat, and that is really, really key, having a topic. If you do circle time at school, it's not just a random chit chat. If we're talking about their favourite animal or snack, you could have a tea party Zoom, and they will talk about their favourite food, but you've pre-prepped it, you're one step ahead, or more than one step ahead of what's happening all the time. And and then you would mute them, then you would say, okay, now it's Mm-mm-'s turn, and you would unmute them. And it's really important that parents at home have talked about what muting a call, what mute means, how, because otherwise your child's going to get frustrated that their friends can't hear them. You might, because the mute symbol is quite small, you might want to have a visual cue for this, so a red cup and a green cup to show when they can speak and when they can be heard and when they can't be heard. And because that's quite a different skill or way of communicating that's not as normal as talking in a group. So I think get the mute thing sorted. Then they'll go around, take it in turns, saying hi and where they are at home and that they've got their toy. If you're doing the toy example, once they've introduced their toy, have like a tea towel or something where that then covers the toy to minimize distractions. So also don't have any pets in the room, don't have any other siblings in the room, have a plain background, and whatever prop or toy you're using for this call, once they've shown it, put it away and it's not touched again until it's their turn to then talk about their toy. Again, you would use a visual timer for this. So they would talk about their toy for a couple of minutes and then it would go away again. Then they would listen to them. Then you as the parent would say, okay, now it's going to be Fraser's turn to talk about his toy, and you would kind of go round in the group, and as they were doing this, you would be praising them, saying, oh, I can see you're doing really great listening. Oh, that was really fantastic speaking. Here's a sticker, or here's whatever system you want to use. What else was I thinking? I think that's everything. Some nice other ideas. You could do a teddy bear sleepover, so try different times of day. If it's too hyper in the morning, try one a bit later in the afternoon where they're all in sleeping bags. You could pick a book, so you all have the Gruffalo book, and you kind of, one parent reads it and the others all follow along together. And yeah, just let me know how you get on, if you have any other tips or things that work for you. If you have consent from everyone in the group on Zoom, you can video record the call. And I think at the end of lockdown, you will find it very interesting if you record another call with the same children. You'll be able to see how their skills have developed. You'll notice some subtleties of their listening and speaking skills from the very first one to maybe one in a month or 2 months time. So but that's definitely a sensitive area, and you must have the consent of all the parents for that. So but that's me being a teacher. I would want to be analysing and seeing how things had gone. Yeah, so give it a go. Well done. I think it's a really, really great thing to do. It's a great learning opportunity. It's really nice kind of social activity for them to do. So give it a go, but put some boundaries and structure in place and let me know how you get on.